Steve, half was closer than maybe a lot of us anticipated. You guys came right back out to start the second half to assert yourselves. Just kind of take us through that opening of the second half, what you guys were able to get done.
Well, I mean, I would like to tell you that we did a better job taking care of the basketball in the second half, and obviously that was a focal point coming out of halftime. But then the last 5 minutes of the game, we turned it over like it was a darn hot potato, and maybe even 6 minutes of the game. So that part was disappointing, but what was not disappointing was the way that we came out in the second half. We didn't score the first basket. They score a basket, and then we got like 8 straight consecutive stops. We turned them over, and we did not turn the ball over. We had 1 turnover for the first 7 or 8 minutes of the half, and that proved to be the difference in the game early on. Now, obviously, we got up towards the middle of the half, and then towards the end, we got lackadaisical again, and those sorts of things. But with that being said, our focus defensively outside of coming out into the second half was tremendous.
Obviously, I just wanted to hit on Dante's night, 30 points for him, career high. Just really look confident out there.
Yeah, I mean, Dante does a good job of staying in the gym. Nobody has ever lost confidence in Dante, right? And Dante works hard, he does the right things, and he deserves to be rewarded. So, as long as he sticks with it, he's going to continue to have his nights. And I say that with all of them. When you have good people and good players, good things are typically going to happen to you. So you just have to keep your nose to the grindstone and stay in the gym and keep working and working and working. The numbers typically are going to even out for you. And Dante has always typically been a 45, 40 to 50% three-point shooter. I don't think that's ever going to change in his career.
Hawkins was their leading scorer going into this game. He averaged 13 points, but he only scored 8 tonight. Watching film on number 3 Hawkins, was that a focal point for you defensively?
Of course, yeah. I mean, he's a good player, and he's really been on a tear, since Conference USA play has began. So I thought I thought all of them, but I thought Brandon Newman did the lion's share of the work, and I thought Brandon did a good job, especially the first, 30 minutes. Maybe even 35 minutes. We got a little loose there, towards the end of the game. And, it's hard. Like I keep telling you guys, it's hard to fight human nature when you get up 20 points and, the crowd's behind you and Diddle's rocking and you think it's over, and they're not going to quit. To their credit, they kept going and kept going. And, we were teetering on that edge of where it gets to be a really close and tight game again. And we've got to get better at that, and we've got to quit doing that.
I want to speak on what you said about Diddle rocking. Obviously tonight it's the Wear Pink night, the first one. How does it feel as you as a program to be able to host something like this and to see that pink in the stands and to know you're supporting such an incredible cause?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it could warm my heart anymore. Like, there's a lot of people who have been affected by cancer, some good, some bad, and my heart goes out to all those people. Tonight for our inaugural event, we probably raised about $3,000 in our auction and those sorts of things, and it's just going to grow more and more. I had a lady stop me after the game she's beating cancer, and the tears in her eyes are real. And obviously, I've had several members of my family that have been affected by it, and I'm sure that some of you in this room have. So I thought that it was a wonderful event for our community, and I can't thank our athletic staff, number one, for just busting their tails to help do it all, and the American Cancer Society for partnering with us, and then most importantly, Connie Smith and the Med Center, for jumping in with both feet and making it a great night.
FIU was 10 or 20 with 3-point range in the first half. Ends up 17 to 40. How do you feel like you guys overall think?
I didn't think in the first half our defense was very good. I thought that we were in rotations a lot. What I mean by that is you're guarding the basketball and he beats you, so somebody has to come over and help. Well, then somebody has to help you because you helped. Well, now they're throwing the ball back across the floor and you're in a closeout. And I didn't think that our closeouts were good, and I thought that our attention to detail in terms of knowing who their best shooters were was not great in the first half. With that being said, I thought for the most part in the second half we were much better at that. I also thought that we kept the ball out of the paint more. And, we did a better job just guarding the basketball one-on-one.
You talked about rotations on the defensive side of the ball. How did you feel your team communicated tonight when saying that, hey, I'm willing to help side? How do you feel that communication?
Again, in the first half, I didn't think it was great, but in the second half, it was much better. I thought we got in, we made a couple of adjustments in terms of some switches late and those sorts of things, and I think that helped us, keep them out of the paint. But I need to watch the film to be able to say if that was the right or the wrong move.
Steve, Christian gives you so much on both ends of the floor. How does it look for him going forward? I know you have a week off now.
Yeah, no, I sure hope he's going to be ready for the next game. He's doing all of the right things. He's trying. He's in concussion protocol, and when you get in concussion protocol, there's certain NCAA rules that you have to follow, and our medical staff has to follow. But he's doing everything that he needs to do, and as each day goes along, I think it becomes more and more positive.
You got the win tonight, you got 2 more at home. This really feels like an opportunity to really make some headway in Conference USA. How important will it be for you guys to sweep it home?
You have to. From John Oldham to Coach Diddle, you need to win your home games, and at the very least, you have to split on the road if you want to vie for a conference championship in men's basketball. That's the way it works. So, we've been fantastic at home with all of our fans. It was great to have the students back tonight. Those guys were great. I missed them, and I think that if we can we can do our jobs and win 2 more. Now you're 5-3. I think 5-3 gets you somewhere in the top 3 of the league, top 4 of the league. I don't know what happened tonight, but other people are going to have to go to Sam Houston, New Mexico State, Liberty, all of those things. So it's going to balance out at some point, but at the end of the day, we have to take care of our business. We hold our future in our hands, and that starts with taking care of the basketball and playing good D and all those sorts of things. But we hold our future in our hands.
Steve, you talk about Rodney's game, came off the bench.
Yeah, I thought that Rodney played well, scored everything pretty much around the rim. I thought that other than a couple times, defensively he was pretty good at keeping the ball in front and helping in ball screen D and having his hands up and just being a force at the rim. But yeah, between Bob and Rodney, I haven't had a chance to look yet. But between Bob and Rodney, I think those guys gave us really good numbers again. When you combine the two, you can get 15 to 25 points and 10 to 15 rebounds. You're in a pretty good position. You're in a pretty good position from the center position, if that makes sense.
Marshall gave you a really nice boost in the second half, too. It was 75-63. He comes in and scores 8 of his 10 points in less than 2 minutes, stretches it out to a 20-point lead.
He's good in transition. I tell him all the time, you're so gifted athletically, you're so good at transition. Just get out and run every single time you can, try to get to the front of the rim. And during that little stretch, he was fantastic at that. Now, you'll sprinkle in a 3 from him every once in a while and those sorts of things. But when he can do those things, and typically it starts with good defense by him or his teammates, and now you're able to create defense into offense. But I thought Tyrone played well, and I thought he's played well for the entire year for the most part.
Anything else? Cool. Appreciate it.